We're here with Virginia Johnson, the Artistic Director of the Dance Theater of Harlem, on the eve of the Joyce season for the Dance Theater of Harlem 2. And thank you for taking the time out to talk to us about the upcoming season.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm very excited about what's ahead.
Now, this season marks really the first time that the Dance Theater of Harlem 2 will not only perform at the Joyce, but really making a New York debut.
Yes. You know, Dance Theater of Harlem has been away from the performance scene for the past 8 years. The Dance Theater of Harlem Company went on hiatus or was closed in 2004. About 4 years ago, Arthur Mitchell, Keith Saunders, Levine Naidoo had the realization that without the performing presence of a company, that people were forgetting about Dance Theater of Harlem. We were starting to disappear in people's imaginations. So they created this group of dancers out of the school, very talented young people, gave them the opportunity to go out on the road, do some touring, do some audience engagement, really hone their skills as performers and as technicians, as performing artists by doing performances. So this company is the Dance Theater of Harlem 2. We call it the Dance Theater of Harlem Ensemble, except when they're at the Joyce. It's a group of aspiring artists. And in the 2 years that I've been here as artistic director, I've seen a tremendous amount of growth from this group of dancers. I felt like when I came in, I saw a group of students who were hoping to be dancers. And by giving them a challenging repertoire and making sure that they're out on the road and asking them to be responsible for their performance, their development as artists, I feel like they've grown to the point that I'm very proud to present them here in New York.
You know, as an artistic director, what I find very unique about what you're doing is you're not approaching this as artistic director / choreographer. You're really approaching this almost as a producer, putting together a company and a repertoire that represents the new Dance Theater of Harlem.
Absolutely. You know, Walter, before Arthur Mitchell asked me to step into this role, this is the last job I ever wanted. It's not something that I felt that I had any knack for or interest in. It's a very interesting job. Interesting is a code word. It's a little difficult. I feel like I was a performing artist, that I had something to say as an individual, but the idea of being an artistic director was something that I hadn't considered. I too thought about it, well, you know, I'm not a choreographer. What am I going to go into that place and put on the stage? But look at the freedom I have. I don't have to worry about my works. I have to figure out, okay, what are we trying to say with Dance Theater of Harlem? And who am I going to get to help me say it? And it gives me a lot of freedom to say, we need a little bit of this, we need a little bit of that, we should add this in there. I can step out of it because I have no personal involvement with what's on the stage except how these dancers are performing it and who is bringing a message to the stage. So it gives me a chance to really shape what this institution is saying in a way that I wouldn't be able to do if I had to present my own work.
So in this Joyce season, we mentioned Donald Byrd.
Yes.
And what a wonderful artist he is and how he challenges the dancers.
Challenges them very much. He does. I think that they didn't know how hard they had to work. They thought they were working hard. And he was letting them know, well, no, that's not really hard work yet. But it was a good thing because, and dancers like to be challenged. So they met him. You know, we had some hairy days, but you know, we got to that point where, okay, I'm pushing you, you're pushing me, and so you end up with this wonderful work. It's thrilling. Performers are explorers. That you're not there to do something that you know. You're there to find out something that you couldn't have imagined, and then to live in that exalted place. So anybody who feels like, oh, I've got it, is not anybody that you want to see on the stage. Because they're not bringing anything. There's no electricity, there's no danger, there's no, okay, look, it's an act of faith, and it's an act of will to make a performance happen. You know, you get a choreographer like Donald Byrd, he really puts you on the edge of that cliff. Yeah, but you want to be on the edge of the cliff. You don't want to be back there safe and comfortable. Why do that? It's too hard to do something comfortable. Doing a work by Balanchine that is seldom seen, the Glinka pas de trois. And that was another work that I very specifically brought in to challenge the dancers. Dance Theater of Harlem has a tremendous neoclassical legacy. When the first ballet that we learned back in 1970 was Concerto Barocco. Mr. Balanchine was our godfather in a certain sense, and he gave to us Concerto Barocco and Agon for us to cut our teeth on. So this is a good place to understand what it is. Those are very pristine, very powerful works, and you can't hide a single thing in them.
No.
So with bringing Glinka to the ensemble, I really wanted them to, again, address the particulars of neoclassical dancing. It is a matter of, you have all of your classical technique, you have all of your use of your turnout and your articulation and the use of your arms and the coordination, but you also have the rhythmic specificity that Balanchine brought to using these pieces of 19th century romantic music. So it's a piece of music that's very la-la-la, but he's got something going on inside of it. So, you know, this is a subtle thing. You don't do that with students. You do that with people that are stepping up to be first artists. And so giving them the challenge of understanding, oh yeah, you got to get the technique right. The technique has got to be right. We're not looking at the technique. We're looking at how you're addressing the material. And that's what first artists do. So, you know, push, push.